the short answer is no. And people seriously need to stop with all of these misleading headlines and riling people up. So let me explain. Hey guys, Dani here, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. So in essence, all that Apple is doing is taking iTunes and making it into the exact same apps that are already on your phone. So you have your music app, the podcast app, and the TV app. Everything that you've already purchased, already have, it's all safe, nothing's going away, everything's fine. They're just making this one big clunky app into 3 separate smaller apps. So exactly why is Apple doing this and why now? Well, the first reason is branding. So if many of you know, I have my podcast called Let's Talk Creative. And at the end, when I'm talking about it, I say things like, you can find my podcast on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. Wouldn't it be so much less confusing if I could just say, you can find my podcast on Apple Podcasts? And that can mean any device that you want, whether it be your phone, your Mac, your iPad, your iPod, whatever it is. So that is why the branding makes way more sense for them to do it like this. So the second reason is actually because Apple has started this program to kind of merge the coding languages between iOS and macOS. This means that you can now pretty seamlessly port iOS apps to the Mac using this new kind of cohesive language. And this is why they're doing it now, because they've invented this software and they tested it out with the last OS. So now they're bringing over the podcast app, the music app, and the TV app over to iOS. And it's really quick to get it all working with all the existing stuff on macOS. The third reason is because continuing to attempt to update iTunes is essentially putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. iTunes was created so long ago. It was running completely different hardware for a completely different time. It was optimized for that stuff, and they've just kind of been patching it to keep making it work from OS to OS. And it started so long ago that it's just clunky, boggy, hard to work with. So it is so much easier to just port that iOS app so that everything works better, and that means that you'll have a lot more cohesion between all of your stuff on Mac and iOS. So if you start a podcast on your Mac, you should be able to pick it up on your phone. Super seamless, which has not been the case. Honestly, at this point, it's time for a change. But for the end consumer, this is literally the equivalent of when Apple changed iBooks to Apple Books. Probably half of you didn't even realize that was a thing that happened. It didn't change much. Everything to the end user pretty much stayed the same. Just the little I disappeared, and everything was fine for you guys. It's kind of the same thing here, except for it's being broken up into 3 apps. But iTunes is not going away. It's not dead. You'll be able to access everything. Everything's going to be transferred seamlessly for you. You're not going to lose anything. Everything is going to be fine. If you want to go into the more technical, in-depth details as to why and how Apple is conquering this, please go check out Renee Ritchie's video. It's really awesome, and it has the same name as this one, so it should be somewhere in the recommended, and I'll also link it during the end screen. But if this video quelled your anxiety in any way, please give this video a like and consider subscribing, because it really does help the channel. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.